Good evening, race fans. Welcome to beautiful, fabulous Las Vegas as we're at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for CRN's coverage of the CORE Xfinity Series. Season number 3 kicks off here tonight. 10 race schedule is going to put these guys and gals through the gauntlet here. Starting off at a very familiar one here with Las Vegas. Head to Texas next week, the big old track at Talladega, but later in the season we got some tough ones like Darlington, Road America, Nashville. Going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top this year. We got some returning champions. We got some new guys to the fray. There's a lot of heavy hitters here in the series. 40 drivers signed up. We got 30 plus out here tonight ready to take the green flag. I'm amped up. Hope you guys are as well. Carl Hamwork in the booth, joined with Jimmy Covert for another season here. Jimmy, lovely little track here in Vegas.
Yeah, out here, what a track to start with, time to gamble, right? Put everything on the line and run your best. And this is a large field here tonight with the CORE Xfinity Series, and looking forward to all the new drivers and see how they drive, and obviously all the new fans that come along with those drivers. So if you're out there, please hit that like and subscribe, and help CRN make its ultimate goal of 1K there. And as we push on through the years here, as we make coverage for all the series, not only through CORE, but throughout the iRacing.
Yeah, listen, I plug it multiple times. If you like racing, CRN's where you got to be. And you look at tonight as we keep picking up more and more broadcasts. We got 4 different series that we cover now on Tuesday nights. So we got Dylan out there covering a couple series right now. We got myself and Jimmy here in the booth for the CORE Xfinity Series, and then we hop over to the UCRL Xfinity Series right after this. So there's plenty of action. You can just go ahead and just put us up, subscribe, hit that little bell. The bell will be ringing quite a bit here as we've got coverage of a lot of different series here throughout the week, but it's a blast to do, and I love watching these guys out here. Looking forward to another great season. The Xfinity guys last season put on a lot of good shows, a lot of green flag racing.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that's kind of brought some of the other drivers in from around iRacing, and it's a good time. It's a Tuesday night here, and looking forward to, like I said, watching some great racing as they finish up qualifying right now. Alan Elwood out on top there with a 29.754, and the field behind him is not separated by much, Carl.
No, not at all. Again, we got 30, almost 35 drivers out here in the field, and it looks like about less than a second separating. Yeah, just a smidge over a second separating the entire field right now of the 31 drivers that have come out here to qualify. Missing a couple out here tonight, but they are looking to get their feet wet starting next week, and again, that'd be at Texas next week. So another familiar one out there, another wide track. Tonight here should put on multiple grooves, should have put on some great racing. I'm sure there's going to be some nicks and bangs and bumps here. It's a lot of drivers out here on the track. It's a lot of guys that are brand new to the series or coming back to the series, and you're getting around some newer guys. So could there be some some yellow flags thrown? I wouldn't put it by them, but we are done with qualifying. It's about time to give a big old rundown through the order. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and lead us off with the grid order here tonight?
Okay, let me catch my breath. Let's see whose name I can mess up tonight. All right, anyways.
That's part of my night.
Al Elwood is on the pole tonight, followed by Shane Thurian with Nico Garcia in 3rd, Ethan Workman's in 4th, AJ Roderick's in 5th, Bobby Rafferty's in 6th, Mike Moultrie Jr. is in 7th, Spencer Teal's in 8th, Daniel Wiles in 9th, Ricky Gonzalez in 10th, Joe Sullivan out there in 11th, Justin Mounds back in 12th, Mikey Garcia in 13th, Sean Dunaway in 14th, Paul Owens making a comeback here in 15th, Joey Stone in 16th, Joshua Klinger in 17th, Chase Waldron there in 18th place, and I need to skip a couple pages here so I get the rest of the field. And then we have Dave Tilford in 19th, Casey Phelps in 20th, Dakota Camper in 21st, Matt Crockett in 22nd, Galen Wunsch there in 23rd, John Crane in 24th, Joe Merritt in 25th, Dustin Phelps in 26th, Randy Oquin in there in 27th, Patrick Cooney in 28th, Jeremy Gainey in 29th, Charles Gettings in 30th, Cheyenne Cata in 31st, Danny Ware in 32nd, Matthew Fritz in 33rd, and Justin Bell in 34th. 34 drivers, and only 3 drivers electing not to take a their qualifying lap, and sometimes that works out the best. They're, if they just feel comfortable or not so comfortable with the car here. So we are running fixed setups and looking forward to seeing how these drivers get around here tonight. Will the dice be on their side, and will they result in a top 3 or higher?
Yeah, it's certainly an option for these guys and one gal out there, as we have Cheyenne making her return to the series here this season. This is her first time out there in the Xfinity cars. She joined us for Dirt Series not too long ago, but got some returning flavor, as well as we have the return of the Cowboy, of Patrick Cooney, as he is back out there in the field. But there again is a lot of heavy hitters here. There's a lot of guys with some beefy I ratings, and a lot of those guys are towards the front. And one of the guys that has some of the highest here, number 5 here of Alan Elwood, starting the season off, well, the best way you can, starting from the pole here, and looks like he's got his teammate there, Shane Therian, on the front row with him. Nico Garcia, Ethan Workman is going to be making a comeback this year here as well. AJ Roderick in your top 5. We are not wasting any time here tonight. These guys and girls are ready to hit the track here for real. It's been building up for only a couple weeks here, but I mean, obviously these guys were chomping at the bit to get back out here on the track. Again, a lot of drivers out here, still missing actually a few drivers, but I'm sure we'll see them next week at Texas. But we've got 80 laps here on tap out here in the Vegas desert. Pace car is off, and it is in the hands of Barney for the first time this season. And we are racing at Las Vegas.
On the loud pedal, a good start there, but number 5 and 26 to get themselves a pretty good jump there. You see the 26 able to make way and slow down that outside, a little bit of blinking there by the 20 of, that's not the 20. That'd be Ethan Workman in the 25.
Great looks here through the track, and all these cars running through. They've completed lap 1. Alan Elwood is at the point, and he's got Nico Garcia right there with him, as they are 1 and 2 right now. But everybody is still going to be bunched up here. You're going to see probably multiple different lines. The low line is going to be probably the preferred, the one that's just nice and comfortable at the bottom, but it is, again, a track that you can run middle, you can run top, you can run a mixture of both. I mean, you can run all over this place, and you just gotta let the car search around a little bit in these first couple laps. I mean, these guys have had I'm sure plenty of laps on this track regardless, but and now getting out here with a group of cars, I've said it before, you can get out there and practice 100 laps on the track, and you get a feel for everywhere that the car wants to go and wants to be on every different line. Once you get out there in some traffic, it's going to feel like a completely different track. And you got the aero push. You got, sometimes you get a little bit looser behind the car, or maybe when you sneak up on somebody. It's a whole different learning curve, and these guys, some of them just getting their first taste of it out here under green flag laps. But we've got a good start here for these boys and girl out here, and we are on lap number 4. Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, Ethan Workman, Bobby Rafferty, and Shane Therian, your top 5. You got Mike Moultrie, AJ Roderick, Daniel Wiles, Justin Mons, and Ricky Gonzalez. Yes, Ricky did show up tonight. He is out there in 10th place.
Carl, with the influx of the field here this season, it's great to see, and obviously with the difference between drivers, maybe some of the faster drivers, getting some more competition, being able to, hone on their skill with these cars, because, it's kind of one of the few ways we really get to kind of learn to be faster, is to run with faster people, and hopefully pick up on some of their habits, and something that might work for you to be able to get the car around the track, at a better pace, or be able to save tire or fuel or whatever it may be. So, but they're doing great so far right now. Pretty much a straightforward single file all the way back until the number 7, the Ricky Gonzalez, followed by Joe Sullivan, Joey Stone, Paul Owens, and Mikey Garcia. Kind of a the drivers back here still looking maybe for the line that they want to run, or they're stuck on the outside or inside, but doing some great side-by-side racing throughout.
Take you on board here with David Topher to just show you the chaos back here in the back. Obviously, the front guys have stretched out just a little bit and gotten single file, but not single file here in the back. It is 2x2 for a lot of positions. You have these drivers doing a fantastic job wheeling these cars around. You see them they're not stuck to the track, even though it's nighttime. This is going to be the one and only night race on the schedule, so it's nice to do out here in Vegas and turn these lights on and let these drivers rip. And it's a beautiful sight to see all these cars out here and all the different awesome paint schemes that these drivers bring out here, and doing a really good job out here. 8 laps down already. These guys are going to have multiple pit stops here tonight, and that's, I think, really going to be the biggest difference maker for who's going to come out here on top and who's taking their tires. These drivers only have 2 sets of tires in the pits, so you got to be smart with it. I mean, you're probably going to have 2 pit stops, maybe 3, depending on how much they're burning off fuel. But even if you only have 2 pit stops, do you elect to take tires on both of those? Do you maybe take a gamble and not take tires at first pit stop? Maybe only take 2 tires on the second one. We're about to find out. We've got a long race ahead of us here tonight, but it is great to be back up here in the booth for the CORE Xfinity Series. Thank you to everyone out here tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. And I mean, if you haven't done so yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. There's plenty of great action here on CRN, and these drivers are showing it right here tonight already. 10 laps into the race.
Yeah, 10 laps in. The field's starting to string out just a little bit. Leaders off to a pretty good run there. I've seen a little bit of not battling, but look like Nico Garcia looking to see if he can make a move on Alan Elwood, as their teammates are starting to stretch it out a little bit, so that gives them time to run some different lines and get out there and see what will work for their car as the tires start to wear down. They're at about that time frame right now. If any of the drivers are out there, pushing the car real hard, this is the time frame, Carl, when those tires start wearing off, and they'll start pushing a little bit. So it's on the drivers to manage them tires. You talked about only having 2 sets, and you can't just burn them off, come in after 20 laps, grab a set of tires, and then you find yourself in a dilemma towards the end of the race. So being able to conserve your tires, and work your pit stops is, I think, the call here tonight. The gamble, but I'm sure we're going to see some gambling here tonight. It's Vegas, so why not, right?
Absolutely. These drivers out here, it's really tough because the first lap or 2, you got to get out here and you got to get the tires to kind of come up the temperature, come up the pressure before you can really start pushing it, and then you'll have a good maybe 5 laps where you can lay down some heaters before the tires start really wearing in and the time start dropping off. But as much as you push in those first couple laps, trying to turn those heaters, that's going to hurt you on that long run. And if these guys go on a long run, that's where it's really going to hurt. I mean, the tires are built that you can make it 2 pit stops easily. I mean, these guys have 50% fuel, so you can make it essentially, a full fuel run. But do you want to? Do you need to? If you're going to be taking those tires, I mean, it's all up to these guys. I mean, there's maybe a few guys out here that'll bring a crew chief or a spotter out there with them to help them around here and maybe even set up some of the the pit stops and everything like that. But for the most part, they are on their own and they are setting everything up for themselves of what they're taking, what they're not taking, how much fuel they're taking, everything like that. And oh, by the way, you're going around here at a little bit of a clip. We'll bring up the dashboard here and show you what these drivers are turning right now. I mean, you're going 165 to 170 through the corners, and then going all the way up to 185 before you hit turn 1.
And just watching, seeing Shine Mikado coming down the pits in that 666 machine. I'm not quite sure what that was for, but they are down in the pits, or they're on. So we'll see if they come back out. But all's normal up front, though, with Alan Elwood still leading over Nico Garcia. I was watching Nico just a little bit and looking like he's seeing whether that high line is starting to come in for that number 26. You can see the 20 of Ethan Workman doing the same up front for 1, 2, 3. But having a great run so far, and the fact that there's 34 drivers out here, Carl, and we're still green as we're entering in lap 16 of 80.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There is the broadcaster's curse. Thank you very much, Jimmy. We have got our first caution of the season here. We'll take a look back and see exactly what happened. It looks like the 0-0. Justin Bell gets in the wall a little bit, collects Charles Gettings there as well. And both of them go to the inside wall. We'll take a look at that one more time. It looked like there was a lot of netcode that came into play for those two cars coming together. You see the 0-0 up into the wall, bounces off and comes across the nose of the 196, and everything's still good there. But then, yeah, a little bit of netcode coming into play for the little bit of a tap between the 196 and 0-0 sends them both spinning. And we'll see. I believe the 0-0 got into the inside wall as well.
Here's the gamble. Who's coming in? The leader just decided to make his way down pit road and at least get fuel. So we'll see if anybody takes tires. As we'll see, I'm sure we'll see a sort of a shuffle throughout the field.
Well, you're seeing everybody come into the pits at this point. We're 18 laps in, and there isn't a single car that has stayed out, other than Cheyenne Kata, as she is going to stay out there. She's coming to the pits a couple times. Not sure if it was to get some repairs done or maybe just, kind of just hang out. Again, this is her first foray into the Xfinity Series. She had some laps in the Dirt Series when we had it here, but trying to get her feet wet out here on the oval, getting a lucky dog lap back here, and she is going to be joining over in the GT Series as well. So good to see her out here on track. She's going to get one of her 4 laps back here, but winner off of pit road is the 84 of Mike Moultrie. As got a little sketchy there by the 0-0 coming up through the field, but the 84 of Moultrie is going to be your leader off pit road. Bobby Rafferty in second, Daniel Wiles in third, Justin Mons in fourth, Josh Klinger in fifth. Elwood and Workman both electing to take tires on that pit stop. Very, very interesting. Pretty early to take those tires. So I would think, they're probably still within the window that they're going to have to make 2 more pit stops. And I think these guys are going to have to stretch it out through that first pit stop and all the way to that second pit stop before they'll take those tires. But, hey, I mean, like you said, it's gambling. We're out here in Vegas, and Jimmy, we're already a quarter way through this race. Once we get this thing green again, it's going to be on the start of lap number 20 here. So this thing is clipping by pretty quickly, and before you know it, we're going to be crowning our first winner of the season.
Yeah, it won't be long for these drivers to get around here. They're doing a good job, and it was a good initial, to me, green flag run here on the first race of the season. A lot of new drivers out here in CORE, a lot of new drivers that have to drive around each other. So to have one here at all the way, they made it all the way to lap 18 before something happened. I mean,
before you
can't ask for a good start.
Was all you.
If it was me. It just a little blow the wind and a netcode here, netcode there. It's like a button, like netcode, and you just shoot somebody. No, they're doing the drivers just doing a great job, and I'm sure they'll continue it up. Great start. I'm sure we'll have a great restart, and we'll see how the drivers that fell back a few spots handle being back in the pack a little again. I can see some of the drivers. You said a few took tires, Carl. And everybody's gambling. I could see them taking tires. To try to maybe get that run up here and to be able to get through the field. But they could be thinking, well, cautions sometimes breed cautions. So maybe they're going to try their luck with taking tires now, and then everybody's going to come in again, and then they take tires. So we'll see how long they stay out, and see how long those drivers or if they can come up through the field. But right now we're doing good. Mike Moultrie up front over Bobby Rafferty, Justin Mons, Daniel Wiles, Josh Klinger, Alan Elwood, Ethan Workman, Joe Sullivan, Dakota Caper, Nico Garcia, Ricky Gonzalez, Paul Owens, Joey Stowe, and Dave Tilford, Mikey Garcia, Spencer Teal, Chase Waldron, Casey Phelps, and Matt Crockett for your top 20.
Yeah, and realistically, the guys that took tires, I mean, they're still sitting up there pretty well. Alan Elwood up there in 5th place, and Ethan Workman there in, I believe he's in sixth place. It's getting switched back and forth here, but not losing too much time taking tires. So now we'll get to see what those fresh tires do on 18 laps. They'll have 18 lap newer tires, well, I guess 17 lap newer tires. Then your leaders up here will see how they can work their way through the field. See if they want to use them up. I mean, it's one of those things. You got those new tires, you want to get to the front, you want to check out, but don't want to use them up as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do. But pace car lights are out, and it is going to be in the hands of Mike Moultrie back here in the series here with America Racing, and enjoying his first laps led, and now his first restart at the front, and he's on the loud pedal. We're back racing at Vegas.
Okay, nice jump there by the 84. Give himself a nice lead going down into turn number 2. The 48 is going to pull up in front of Robbie Rafferty, that 077 machine, and work his way in number 3. But you can see on the outside, Alan Elwood going towards the wall, going too wide now with Justin Long, who's going to take that position from him and move into P number 4 and maybe P number 3. Moving quickly, making quick work of that outside.
Elwood already up to position number 2, and now going to the outside here, looking for the lead. Workman going through the middle, following him up through the field. Move the 5 back up to the point. The 20 right back up the second. And Jimmy, did new tires mean a little bit? I think they do.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think if Elwood was one of the drivers to take tires, you're gonna obviously, you've seen how fast he was able to work his way back up from 6th or 7th, and just to kind of keep going and being followed closely by Workman. So those two drivers, I don't think they're gonna fight with each other. I think they just gotta check out, and I think it's a good call for those two drivers, and see how far they can stretch it out and maybe possibly start lapping some people.
They are certainly, as it looks like Joey Stone having some blinking issues.
Right.
Yeah, Joey Stone had some blinking issues, and that could have potentially brought out that caution right there. And yeah, still having some issues here. As, yep, he just blinked out a couple times, as you see it there, and that ended up bringing out our first caution. See how Spencer Teal got involved here.
Joey Sullivan, Ricky Gonzalez, Charles Gettings, Matthew Fritz, Galen Wunsch, Justin Bell, just to name a few involved there.
Yeah, Owen's getting in the back of the 7. Started that, but maybe not started the wreck, but it was already kind of happening on the outside. A few guys getting involved there. That was most likely on the 52, still kind of blinking out, still dealing with it here. But you see some of the carnage here on the front stretch, and we'll take a look at that one more time from the view of Barney here, as you see, probably had the best view of these guys coming out of the final corner and just kind of bunching up. And you see back there already some guys going around.
And now you know he's seen
hard impact there towards the back of the pack as well.
I know I've seen some of those drivers make way to the front of the pack, and yeah, unfortunate turn of events, as cautions do sometimes breed cautions, and it's not what you like to see. It usually starts, I guess, messing with the drivers' head a little bit in the thought process. You can see got an injured car down there on the inside as the pace car in the front of the field work your way through. What happened with the 5? Alan Elwood moving back to 11th place. What happened there?
Yeah, I'm trying to look through here. I don't see anything in particular that happened.
There's one thing about having a large field. Sometimes it is very difficult to catch every single thing. Only being 2 of us up here in the booth.
Yeah, and obviously SDK only catches so much as well. But yeah, I don't see anything happening here with the 5. But very interesting. As we got, looks like Ethan Worthman is going to be at the front. So I'm not sure if there was a little issue there with the 5 once the wreck happened, but either way, we will re-rack the drivers back up here for another restart. But certainly a few of them caught up in the mix, caught up in the melee on that one, and a lot of hard cars there, and certainly some guys that are going to have to take their fast repairs early on in this race, as we are only on lap number 26 of 80. So Workman and Elwood, not the only ones that took tires on that initial restart, and actually that's what we missed while we were looking at the wreck there. Elwood decided to come back in to the pits, so quite a few guys come back in here to take some fuel, but quite a few drivers did take tires on that initial pit stop, and now a few more taking tires on this pit stop here. So the tire situation is definitely fluctuating throughout the group already, but it'd be very interesting to see who's holding on to those tires. Mike Moultrie, Daniel Wiles, certainly veterans to the series coming back here this season for another run here, and it doesn't look like they have taken any tires yet as they're sitting second and third. I don't think Bobby Rafferty has either, or Justin Mons there in the top 5, and Ethan Workman is going to be your control car at the front for this restart. He is at the point. He is going to send these guys off into turn 1. He's got the fresh tires, so with nobody else around him with fresh tires, I would expect to see the 20 on the car, the 25 on your scoring tower. Try and check out on this thing really early and just get away from any kind of carnage. As I don't think that was really on really anybody's fault. I mean, it was clearly a connection issue for Stone there, and it just really got everybody bunched up, and not what you can do when there's that many cars all grouped together that closely. Something, you drop a pin out there, and everybody's going sideways. But the little big one out here in Vegas, right there, and we'll see what these guys can do to rebound from that. We're going to restart here at the completion of lap number 27. It is Workman, Moultrie at the front, Rafferty, Wiles making up your second row, Mounds, Stone, your third row. Crockett is up to 7th place. He's going to be just showing up here for one race. Going to run his home race here tonight before he goes under the knife on Thursday. So hopefully everything goes nice and smooth for him out there, and we'll catch him in the booth at some point throughout the season before he is on his road recovery. But we need to recover some green flag laps here, and it is under the hands of Workman, and he is on the loud pedal, and we're back racing here at Vegas.
Yeah, pretty good start there by the 20. He's going to get himself a nice good jump, followed by 48 Daniel Wiles down at the bottom side. 84 is going to fall in the second there. It's a great start so far, down through turns 1 and 2. Trying to watch the back of the field as everybody is coming around. Oh, that goes down to the apron. I believe that was the 26 of Nico Garcia with some evasive maneuvers heading down towards the apron there. Garcia and Elwood are going to work together on that bottom side.
So we'll take a look at the drivers that took the tires that time. It looks like first one in the pack that took tires is Josh Klinger back in the back here. He has some of the freshest tires in the field, but behind him they were 3 wide there for a second as Dakota Kemper on the inside. You got Patrick Cooney was on the outside, as we got another number 20 out there. That is the actual 20 there of Spencer Teal. So your leader is in the 20, that is Ethan Workman, 25 on the timing tower, but this is the 20 here of Spencer Teal, as these guys are doing battle at the back, up at the front, and really everywhere. I mean, we need picture here to show you all the different battles here, but this is the battle here for 6th place, as Rocket going to go to the inside. He's going to take 6th, get very close there to the 41 of Mons, and he's going to go to the inside and move himself up into the top 5 here. It's a good run early here for the Liquid Death at number 10.
Yeah, Matt Crock is usually what he goes out there and is very clean. He tries to stay out of people's way, lets people go, and might be seeing a little bit of maybe a new side. But when the caution comes out, it looks like Patrick, the Cowboy Cooney, has wrapped himself up into an incident here on lap 31.
Yeah, it looks like 13 kind of drifted up there a little bit. We'll take a look at it one more time, and then it was a little bit of net code, but I think they were going to come together regardless.
Yeah.
And that was between the 1 and it was the 13 of Galen Wench, and you see it right there. Some contact, sending them both into the wall. Some hard impact there for the 13. The 1 bouncing off the wall and inside the 13 before. It looks like it just grabs a part of that wall and rips the car around. Doesn't look too bad there for the 1. Certainly some more damage there on the 13, but that is going to bring us out another caution here. And it's another thing. It's great about having these big fields, but it does bring even more netcode into play. Again, I think the cars will probably come together there regardless, but certainly netcode did start that incident right there. But it looks like a few guys are coming into the pits. A few guys going to be staying out. They're going to shake up the order here. Matt Crockett going to stay out and lead for his first time this season. It's like Nico Garcia going to stay out. Jeremy Gainey going to stay out. Alan Elwood is going to remain out as well. So we got about 6 or 7 guys that are staying out and not electing to come into the pits this time. Looks like 8 guys staying out. The rest coming in. The 7 of Ricky Gonzalez getting his wave around right there. That'll get him back on the lead lap. So your top 10 for the restart here is going to be Matt Crockett, Nico Garcia, Jeremy Gainey, Alan Elwood, Chase Waldron, Dakota Camper, Sean Dunaway, Joe Sullivan, Ethan Workman, and Joey Stone. Unless any of these guys decide to come in and top off here, as we're getting close to that halfway point already. I know we've had a couple cautions, but the lap's still ticking away pretty quickly.
And you see all the drivers diving to the bottom of the track, trying to get that shortest way around to maybe save a tenth or a half a gallon of gas, and it could be the deciding factor when it comes down to a late pit stop here at Vegas. So anything that you can do to save some fuel is always a good thing. But yeah, Matt Crockett out there out front, liquid death. Putting that number 10 on the point here, so give himself a lap lead. Caution or not, still lap lead in the books, Carl.
Absolutely, still a chance to get the sponsor out there. Show a little love to the family and friends that are, I'm sure, out there supporting him as well. I thank everybody that's supporting us year in and got us to this point. I mean, it's been an amazing ride, and it's been a lot more fun than I expected. It was something that we took on just to kind of cover our own races here. We dealt with too many broadcasters that were just a little too flaky, said they were going to do things, didn't, decided to not show up, yada yada. So that is what started up CRN here and got this thing all kicked off, and it's been fun. It's been a fun ride up to this point. There's been a lot of good races that we put on, and there's been a lot of times it's been a lot more fun up here in the booth than it's been out there in the track, to be honest. But
I'm one of those drivers. I have pretty much most toys in, like as far as a rig's concerned, at my disposal, and I find myself doing more broadcasting than racing. So trying to maybe flip that around, maybe later on in the year, as I'm trying to find some inspiration to get back out on the track, whether it's ovals or roads. So we'll see what we can do on my days off. But right now, Matt Crockett, before he has to take some time off, get some laps led here at lap 34 of 80, followed by Nico Garcia, Jeremy Gainey, Alan Elwood, Chase Waldron, Dakota Camper, Sean Dunaway, Joe Sullivan, Ethan Workman, and Joey Stone for your top 10.
Base guard lights are out, so we will take the green flag, and it will be 45 laps to go, so getting close to that halfway point. Still going to need at least one more pit stop. I doubt we've seen the end of the cautions here, as well as it's been a race a little bit with caution, breeding caution, but I can't really say that. I mean, typically you say that because the cars get bunched up, and having a lot of times on the restarts or like a lap after the restart hasn't really been the case here tonight. I mean, just some guys doing some hard racing here for this last one. The one before that, certainly some internet issues getting involved. The first one being netcode, so I can't really put it too much on the drivers here tonight, and really got to give them some credit. I mean, it's not easy to have this many cars out there on the track, regardless if you've been racing around each other for, you know, a couple of years. A lot of these guys are out there racing against each other for the first time potentially. And it should go without saying that, oh, well, it's just over racing. Everybody, you know, everybody goes to the corner, and you can do this, you can do that. Everybody drives the track a completely different way, whether you're left it off in a different spot, whether you're taking it at a different angle. And drivers have tendencies, and once you run around them for a few races, you start to understand their tendencies, and you can race maybe a little bit closer to each other. Well, pace car is off. We're about to get these guys under green again. Matt Crockett on the loud pedal, and we are racing again at Vegas.
Yeah, nice start there by the number 10, followed by the 26 of Nico Garcia, trying to take advantage of the position that these guys going to follow the 10 around us, head down into 1 and 2. You can see Alan Elwood trying to make his way back to the front as well.
Highest we've seen Dakota Camper up there in 5th spot right now. Joe Sullivan up there now in the top 6 as he's got battling on the inside with Chase Waldron, right behind him Joey Stone, and then the 20/25 of Ethan Workman trying to work his way back up through the field. You know, he likes the high line. He's trying to get up through there again, but kind of getting blocked out right now. Right behind him, he got Sean Dunaway and Josh Klinger doing battle. A little bit deeper in the field, you'll find your leader at the last one there, Mike Moultrie, has got to work his way up through the field again as he goes to the inside of Spencer Teal. Behind them, 2x2, maybe 3x3. Justin Mons diving to the inside, makes it 3 wide on the front stretch as David Tilford kind of stuck in the middle. And again, you can run 3 wide here. It doesn't feel comfy. I can tell you that right now, as you were running some good high speeds out here. And Tilford, I think, just, you know, gladly kind of backs out of that right there. But at the front, it is still the 10 of Matt Crockett at the point. Behind him is Nico Garcia. Alan Elwood back up to 3rd now, so he has worked his way back up here and looking to try and get up there to the lead. Again, he's got some newer tires probably than the 10 here. Actually, it looks like the 10 did pit on the same lap here, just didn't come in and top off like Elwood did. So similar tires here on the 10 and the 5. The 26 did come in to top off, but I believe he has the same tires as these boys up front as well. So good battling up here as hopefully these guys get stretched out here a little bit, single file it up here. That's hard to say. I mean, it's the first race of the year. These boys want to get at it, Jimmy.
Yeah, they do want to get at it, but you know, they're only at the halfway point, Carl. We're at 40 laps of 80 right now. Matt Crockett's still up front over Nico. But let's talk about Jeremy Gainey, up 25 spots from the start. So halfway through the field, starting towards the back of the field, and Jeremy's got that 45 machine up front.
It doesn't matter how you do it, just that you do it. And yeah, he's done a fantastic job starting back there in 29th position. Finds himself inside the top 5 right now. Similar situation for Matt Crockett, starting back there in 22nd, up 21 spots. Dakota Camper, we said, is the highest we've seen him running so far in the race. Started back there in 21st. Not I mean, it's his number, but still not I think the place that he expected and wanted to qualify back there that deep in the field, but already up into the top 5. Joey Stone, another one that has moved his way up here, and former champion here, up from a 16th spot up to 6th place right now, trying to work his way through the field. But you see these guys diving around, going 2-3 wide back here. Shane Therian started up there in 2nd place. Finds himself back here in 12th right now, trying to work his way back up through the field on the outside now of Chase Waldron for 11th. But we've got battles all throughout the track here. I mean, we can just click on pretty much any driver out here, and they're doing some battling as we look just a couple of spots back here. On the outside, Sean Dunaway doing battle with Justin Mons as they come up, and but they contemplated going 3 wide there with Chase Waldron, but they fall back just a little bit. But a heck of a run there from Mikey Garcia right behind as he gets up right behind the number 01 there. Almost gives him a little kiss on the backside there through 1 and 2. But they do make it through, and we'll continue racing hard here as we look back a little bit further in the pack here. And hopefully we can click on another guy that's blinking out. But Charles Gettings trying to make his way back up through here after getting involved in an early wreck, as he is back in 20th spot right now, but up 10 positions. Started back in 30th, had the wreck, and now is working his way back up through the field. running behind the 077 of Bobby Rafferty. And then David Tolford, he's at least only 2 wide. Now that we look in on him, but even 2 wide can get a little sketchy here as he gets together there with the 77 of Dustin Feltz. But you guys keep it straight and keep it going here. But a little bit of a gap then. We take a look back here at the rest of the little bit of a pack to finish this thing off out of the top 25 here. Patrick Cooney back here, but it looks like another blinker right in front is the 30 of Paul Owens, and it's bad enough that he deals with his wheels shutting off every once in a while. Now it looks like Xavier wants to shut off. But back up at the front, it is still Matt Crockett, but new man in second, Dakota Camper, is on the hunt, and he's trying to work his way up to the front.
Yeah, Dakota doing a great job moving that number 21 machine right up in the behind the 10 of Matt Crockett. Got to put a little pressure. Matt's going to give a little bit of room there. It's going to open up the door for the 21. Dakota Camper's going to take advantage of that as he runs him down the backstretch. And there's a low side coming into 3, and at the exit of 4, he's going to have the lead.
Yeah, Dakota Camper with 7 lap newer tires, then the 10, so he's putting them to work right now. New leader here in Vegas is the 21 of Camper. Still trying to fully clear the 10. Looks like he will do it into turns 1 and 2. But the battle is heating up behind them, as well as Joey Stone now up in the 3rd. Nico Garcia on the outside. Mike Moultrie on the inside. 3 wide down the backstretch for 3rd. Still 3 wide into turns 3 and 4. And Matt Crockett probably thinking, listen, I just gave up the lead. I don't want to see this in my rearview mirror. Kisses the wall there a little bit. Probably mirror driving there a little bit, watching these guys. As Moultrie to the inside now of Crockett, and he looks to take over 2nd place as they're 3 wide now. Crockett's the one on the outside as Stone and Garcia just continue to go 3 wide. Alan Elwood gets around Matt Crockett as Crockett falling back now, scraping the wall a little bit on the backstretch. These guys are starting a little race. We're past the halfway point right now. Most likely 1 pit stop before these guys are good to go to the end. But they are trying to get track position as quick as possible out here on the track. And, I mean, throw a blanket over the top 10, top 15 right now.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of the outer wall jitters is what I call when you fall back like that, as some of the field comes charging through the field, and you kind of get hung up on the outside, beat 3 wide. Not every track is possible. It is possible here, and it gets a little nerve-wracking, being out there on the wall, because the car can slide out here. But these drivers are doing great here. Well, not 50 of 80. Dakota Camper out front over Mike Moultrie, Nico Garcia, the Joey Stone, Alan Elwood, Justin Mounds, Josh Klinger, Ethan Workman, Daniel Wiles, and Joe Sullivan for your top 10. Carl is interesting and is high tempo as this race is here tonight. I gotta move my way over to Milwaukee and catch up with our friends over there at UCRL.
Absolutely, a little flat track action over there at the Milwaukee Mile. It's certainly gonna be a fun one. Hopefully everyone that is tuning in here tonight is gonna join myself and Jimmy over there for the boys at UCRL for another thrilling race, as they've been putting on some good shows. Hopefully we get a little bit better turnout here tonight. I know they've been a little low on their numbers, still not bad numbers for sure, but I know they're looking to try and get a little more full field out there. And Milwaukee Mile will certainly be a nice little test. And if it's anything like Scott Bolster puts up there, I know put up a good setup, but it'll make these guys drive the wheels off it for sure. But going real close here for the lead is Moultrie, as he got very close to Dakota Camper there, and now gets a great run through 1 and 2, as he's got some fresher tires than the 21, as he got some tires on lap 32, 8 lap newer, and it's clearly faster right now for Moultrie as he goes to the front. But yeah, we'll let Jimmy go from this one, and he's certainly gonna miss a good one here, but hopefully we don't miss too much of the beginning of UCRL, because it's going to be a good one out there. I like the flat tracks there. Well, I should say I don't necessarily like them, but for some reason I'm usually good at them. I like those flat tracks to drive on. But I'm looking forward to UCRL after this one here. But leading the race right now is Dakota Camper, just not wanting to give it up there over Mike Moultrie, who's now in second. Joey Stone Justin Mons, Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood, Ethan Workman, Daniel Wiles, Shane Therian, and Joe Sullivan, your top 10. We have a second here, and everybody is out here driving nice and clean. I know that's going to completely jinx it as I say that. We're going to go ahead and do something before anyone that's new out there. We'd like to turn the mics off at some point in the second half of the race, break these guys up and gal, and give you all a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
sights and sounds here of the CORE Xfinity Series, race number 1 here of season 3, and we are going through what should be the final pit stop here of the race, and it's going to cycle out to see 52 of Joey Stone out there at the points in first place, but you see right behind him battling for second place, Mike Moultrie on the outside of the 84. On the inside there is the 5 of Alan Elwood, your pole sitter here tonight. Both of these guys chasing down your leader, getting very close. They're off of turn number 2. Not too far behind them is the 41 of Justin Mons, only about a second behind the battle here for the top 3. Daniel Wiles is going to be in 5th place. Ethan Workman in 6th. Dakota Camper, Joe Sullivan, Bobby Rafferty, and Shane Therian in your top 10 right now. A lot of different strategies here, and it looks like just about everybody taking their set of tires here on that last pit stop. So these are the sets that these drivers are going to have to run all the way to the end now. It'll be very interesting to see how this thing plays out, as we still have quite a few drivers out here on the track. Most of the 34 are still running. Whether they're on the lead lap or not is to be said, but the top 25 right now are on the lead lap, with the last one right now being John Crane in 25th. But Joey Stone is the man out front, but it's a 3-car breakaway. First, second, and third right on top of each other. Joey Stone pitting on lap 56. Elwood and Moultrie pitting on lap 57 right behind them. But Justin Mons is closing that gap, as it is down to 1.3 seconds back to him in 4th place. Ethan Workman in 5th. Would love to get up there and try and make a run at these guys as well, but we're down to 14 laps to go here at Vegas, as the time is ticking out here, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be the one that claims the first checker flag of the year. Who do you think out there in the chat? Who do you think is going to bring this thing home? We've got some previous series winners here, whether it be in the Xfinity Series or other Oval Series. As you got Joey Stone up there, we had Dakota Camper up there for a bit. Daniel Wiles, Mike Moultrie are up there. They've certainly been towards the top of some of the fields here in the CORE Oval Series. We got some new hitters out here with Alan Elwood. Justin Mons and Ethan Workman have been up there in quite a few series races as well, but right now they are all chasing the 52 of Joey Stone. But this is far from over, as we are clicking off and starting at lap number 69 right now. 12 laps to go here in Vegas. Just to clarify, over at UCR, they're actually at Gateway, not the Milwaukee Mile, but just as flat and just as ovally is the Gateway or Worldwide Technology Raceway, and that is it's a tale of 2 different corners over there. As a real tight turn 1 and 2, and then a little bit more of a flowy 3 and 4, but it's just a funky, finicky little track. But big move there to the inside for Moultrie, as he's looking to try and get back into 2nd place. Gonna clear Elwood onto the backstretch, block off the crossover move, and he is now back up into 2nd. This is far from over, though, as they're right behind Stone, not letting him go. But all this is doing is bringing Justin Mons up into the picture here. They've got the 17 of Casey Phelps. Looks like he's got some newer tires here than the other drivers up here, but there's another man on the move, and that is the 20/25 of Ethan Workman, now moving himself up into 4th place. And he's got a crossover move here from the 41 of Mons, as they're 3 wide. The lap car, the 17 of Casey Phelps there on the outside. But that doesn't mean anything for these guys battling for 4th, as it looks like Workman will finally get the pass done. So throw a blanket over the top 5 with 9 to go. Stone finding another gear here a little bit late in the race. He's pulling Moultrie with him, but these guys in 1st and 2nd kind of creating a little bit of a gap now, as Workman now gets himself up into 3rd place around Elwood through 3 and 4. So Workman may be the only one that has the speed to catch these guys. He's got the freshest tires up the top 5. pitting on lap number 60, as we have got 8 laps to go now, as they're clicking by quickly. These drivers out here turning 31-second lap times, so basically 2 laps a minute out here, and this thing is going to be over very soon. But does anybody have anything for the 52 of Joey Stone? Does he have enough to make it all the way to the end without having to save it all, is another question. But he is running hard enough to get himself into the wall in 3 and 4. Don't want to do that too often for sure. But he is looking at 7 more laps to go now. Moultrie in second, but he's going to have company very soon. Workman already on the back bumper. Running down the 84, gets a good run off of 1 and 2. Now down to the inside on the backstretch for second place. The 20 goes to the inside, and Workman trying to get into second. A little bit of a pickle maybe from the 84, as they're both going to have to drift up high around the 77. Still battling at the line, 6 laps to go. Battle for second place. Stone would like them to battle for the rest of the race if possible, but looks like Workman may be able to get it done here. Going to slide up through 1 and 2. Not completely clear. Now looks like he will be into second place. Elwood still holding on to 4th. Mons in the 5th. Therian back there a little bit further, but trying to do his best to get up to these guys. Right now, it is Joey Stone scraping the wall again out of 3 and 4. Don't want to do that too often, but 5 laps to go. Elwood and Mons now doing battle for the last spot. Well, actually, the other 2 spots in the top 5, as side by side here for 4th and 5th. Elwood on the outside, the 41 of Mons trying to follow Workman up through the field here. He's going to make the pass on Elwood. Elwood gets to the inside, a little bit of a bruise there on the back bumper as he crosses over to try and get back up underneath, but the 41 looks like he has the pass cleared now, and he's going to try and make his way up to the top 5, or up through the top 5 even more, as it is Joey Stone, Ethan Workman, Mike Moultrie, Justin Mons, and Alan Elwood, now your top 5. And taking a look at Ethan Workman, was gaining a little bit of time, but scraped the backstretch there a little bit. Trying to do everything he can to get in the draft of the 52, as we are now down to 3 laps to go. The 25 is certainly on the move. Does he have enough to catch? Does he have enough to pass? Those are 2 questions that remain to be answered. Joey Stone doing everything he can right now to keep that 25 at bay. But this top 5 is definitely heating up here to the end. Pretty amazing that there's still 23 drivers out here on the lead lap. A great drive here to the end for these drivers, as we are down to 2 laps to go. Workman doing everything he can down on the apron, trying to gain every little bit to get up to the 52 of Workman. Battle back a little bit is between Moultrie on the outside and Mons on the inside. Mons trying to get himself up in that podium spot. He wants to be getting interviewed after this race for sure, but Moultrie is not going to give it away easy, as we are coming to the white flag this time by. Workman is... No, that is not Workman, sorry. That is the 11 there of John Crane, as white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go. 0.3 of a second between first and second. Joey Stone doing a phenomenal job on the second half of this race. Once we got going here, he works his way up to the front. Started back there in 16th, but he has found his way to the front, found his way to the pace, and he has found his way to victory lane here at Vegas. Your winner, Joey Stone, in the 52. Great performance from Ethan Workman in second place. Alan Elwood gonna get third, as looks like there was a major incident there between Mons and Moultrie there at the end. We'll take a look at it coming off of 3 and 4. Mons trying to do everything, little bumping and banging, and gets into the side of the 84, but the 84 is going to hold on to 4th place. Justin Mons going to get into 5th. Shane Therian, Daniel Wiles, Josh Klinger, Dakota Camper, and Bobby Rafferty going to grab your top 10 here tonight. But what a finish, what a run by these drivers here at the end. That was definitely a fun one to watch. back to the front and watch our winner here tonight, the 52 of Joey Stone, take his due and take his victory burnouts here, as we have some more teammates there with him as well, celebrating here on the front stretch. But certainly a well-deserved race and great battling up there in the top 5 to finish this thing off. Take a second here and grab everybody in here for their interviews and wrap this thing up. Got our winner in here, ready to go for sure. Completely understanding that he's ready to go, just trying to get the other 2 drivers in here. And we will kick off these interviews. And we will go ahead and do so here. We'll click it back a couple laps, and man, we can click it back about 20 laps, as this was a great battle all the way to the end of the race. But we'll go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher here tonight, and that is going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. And Alan, heck of a battle inside the top 5 for the last, about 20 laps of that race. I mean, that was epic. Just, I know there was a lot of battles going on all through the field, but my eyes were trained on that top 5, and you were doing some great battling there, and a little bit of bumping and banging in front of you, and you grab yourself a 3rd place to finish this thing off.
Yeah, I guess we'll take it however we can get them, right? Yeah, it's just a really huge struggle with dirty air tonight. Whoever was out front just had it made, regardless if they were on a little bit older tires. I think the winner, he pit maybe like a lap earlier. I can't quite remember, but you just stick it out front, and then like I tried to get to him and it just stalled out. I couldn't turn. I tried low, high, didn't matter. It seemed like dirty air was wherever you were at on the track. So difficult for sure. But overall, first time out, we'll take a 3rd, and yeah, it's a pretty good outing.
Well, I would say so. I mean, it started the best you can make it. I mean, you started out there on the pole. You clearly had some speed out here tonight. Were you looking forward to this one? Is this a track that you kind of enjoy running at? I mean, you had some speed all here tonight.
Yeah, I've notched a few wins here in the past, and it's been a good track to me. It's a little more difficult, I would say, to pass at night here than during the day when your car just slips sliding around. You have a lot of grip, especially here at night. It kind of amplifies the difficultness of trying to pass somebody. But no, I mean, I like this track. It definitely presents a challenge. It's a fairly unique mile and a half compared to some of the others with the bumps and stuff like that you got to manage. And turn 1 and 2 is a little more forgiving with lines than 3 and 4. So you got to manage that part. But yeah, no, I like this track. I think it's a good starter for the season, and judge everybody, kind of get a feel for your competitors out there and the pit strategy and stuff like that, how to take that moving forward. And now we know.
Well, it equaled out to a 3rd place here tonight, the one and only night race here on the season. The rest of them will be in the daytime, and I'm sure the track temps will be cranked up a little bit and get you guys slipping and sliding. But this is a heck of a good way to start the season off. You grab yourself a top 3, and you grab yourself a pole on the way there too as well. So we'll see you in Texas next week. But before you do, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to before we let you go?
First off, everybody here at CORE has been really welcoming. The racing was really good tonight, I feel. Couldn't ask for really a better start as far as an impression goes. I think everything was great. You here in the booth, Carl, appreciate you putting on the broadcast as always, and everybody on the team tonight, Simrat Market, Elwood Design Esports, Shane notched the 6th, kind of looking down the running order. Everybody had a fairly decent night, I would say.
AJ did a little lawn mowing.
Yeah, there you go. So, no, just hats off to the team. We're looking forward to the rest of the season, and hats off to everybody here.
All right, well, congrats on the tremendous success here in the first race of the season. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Thanks, Carl.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Second place is going to be the 20/25 of Ethan Workman. And Ethan, you had a very fast car out there tonight. There was a couple times we've seen you run up through the field, run up through that top 5, and it looked like you were going to try and do that again. You got yourself up to second. I mean, it was rough getting up through those last couple guys, especially getting around Elwood and then getting around Moultrie. But you get into second, and then it seemed like it kind of stalled out. You just couldn't get enough to get up there to Joey.
Well, I didn't expect where I finished, but I pulled off a great strategy. I believe I came out P11 after pit stops, after pitting later, and I ended up finishing second. But I'd say when I caught up to Joey, I feel like my tires started evening out with his, and the dirty air played effect. So I'd give props to him on his strategy in his race. He deserved that win easily.
Yeah, we got the same thing from Alan in the interview, saying that the dirty air really seemed to play a part here tonight. It seemed like the person that was out front definitely was the spot to be, and it was a little tough. But I mean, you did yourself a service getting up through the field a couple times. You made plenty of passes up here tonight. You started up there towards the front, but you fell back a little bit, and you made an interesting on yourself, and you certainly had a fast car. We know you've seen you at the front and leading a bunch of laps out here, in previous seasons. But this field is stacked out here this season. There's a lot of really good competitive drivers out here, and obviously a deep field as well. So, what do you think the season has to offer?
I think this season's going to offer much better racing. Overall, I feel like the racers are a lot cleaner, they're a lot more respectful, and I feel like compared to the season 1 I believe I was in, I feel like the competition has definitely grown since then.
Absolutely. I mean, it was fun. We've seen a few different leaders out here tonight. We've seen a lot of good passing, a lot of close racing, 3-4 wide racing. I mean, it's Vegas. You can definitely do it out here, but it's still, you don't want to be that guy in the middle. But you didn't seem like you minded whether you threw that thing on the outside, the middle. I mean, you put that car wherever it needed to be here tonight. You're certainly fast out there. We head to Texas next week, though. What do you think the car is going to feel like out of Texas? Do you think you have a shot at getting another top 3 here?
Oh, I definitely feel like I have another shot here. Overall, I feel like my long run speed and just being up front is going to play a key in those races. And I feel like I'm going to be here, be competitive, just like the first season, being up front a lot, racing the people up front. And I definitely will enjoy this season.
Well, certainly enjoyed this first race out here tonight. You ran up towards the front for most of the race, and you grabbed yourself a second place. So before we let you go and get back to the hauler, who you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to myself, and then a shout out to Alan, who finished third. He had a good race. He was racing me up front a lot. And then I also like to give a shout out to the winner, Joey Stone, one of my good friends. One of the reasons I came back in this series this season is to race some of my friends. And overall, that exceeded my expectations in this first race. And I'd like to thank everyone who I know who you are out there. And it's been a good race, and I enjoy your broadcast.
Oh, I appreciate that, and this will be a fun one to go back and watch as you get plenty of camera time up there towards the front. So congrats on the success here tonight. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Thank you, Carl.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 20/25 of Ethan Workman. But the winner out here tonight is going to be the 52 of Joey Stone. Joey, champion in season 1. You take 4 months off and just, I guess, party for 4 months, and now you come back here and go ahead and just, stamp yourself that, yeah, the champ is back.
Yeah, what a return, right? I mean, that was great. First and foremost, I gotta give a big shout out to the entire field, the racing products. What a huge step up from when I ran season 1. Great racing from start to finish. Then we only had like 3 cautions, so it allowed us to have a lot of different strategies and have it all play out. You had tire management, great 3 wide, 2 wide, 4 wide battling all around. So shout out to the entire CORE Racing Series field. That was great. But what a win, man. That was great. It's funny. I reset my whole PC like yesterday, and I had to like reinstall iRacing and a bunch of things to get the whole stream stuff ready. And I only ran like 5 laps of practice, so I told myself, "Oh man, this is gonna be a learning curve because all these guys have been getting laps in." But once I got a couple laps in, it just kind of felt like the old way I ran this track before, and we just kind of found our groove, and we were saving tires and worked our way up there, threw our carts in with the strategy, and it worked out. But just nonetheless, hell of a start on the campaign to go for another title.
Well, we heard the other two drivers here in the interviews talk about dirty air, and it sounded like the dirty air was definitely playing a part here tonight. Was that kind of in your strategy? You wanted to get to the front to get that clean air on the front of that nose?
Yeah, for sure. Originally, every run that we got those new tires, I didn't want to just burn them up immediately because you want to have tire wear when it counts the most. And near that last green flag pit stop, I knew when the cycle runs out, we were going to be up in the top 5 regardless, maybe even the lead. And once it all cycled out and we were the leader, I told myself, okay, no need to save tires now. If they come up to you, you got to play dirty air. So, I was just mirror driving pretty much the last 20 laps and watching the 5, the 84, and the 25. And wherever they went, I went to go block it, especially on the top in 3 and 4. That's where they tried to seem to get the run. And thank goodness it worked. I mean, if I was on the other side of it, I would be complaining about it, but I can't be complaining about it now. It's definitely a key factor why we're in victory lane. But I'm not going to take anything away from the speed and what we had here. Ancient World Racing here, myself, Justin Monza, and Bobby Rafferty, all 3 cars in the top 10, which is just incredible. That just shows you the skill we have as a team. But the dirty air was definitely a factor, and with all the experience we have, it definitely played a role in us being in victory lane for sure.
Well, it took you 3 races in season 1 to get your first victory on your way to your championship, and that was your lone victory. But you grab win number 1 here in race number 1. But you talked to Ethan about the level of competition. Obviously, a lot more drivers out here this season. The stacked field, a lot of really good competition at the front. Do you think this is going to be a little bit tougher here to grab this one this year?
Oh, absolutely. I think any series, any league that, goes on for a few years, you're going to have drivers that want to come in and test the waters. I think when I won the season 1 championship, we have a really good following. The Sloppy Nation follows really well. We have some really talented guys there, and word gets around, about different series out there. They come and want to try it out. They hear from different people. So yeah, of course, it's going to be harder for sure. I think this is the greatest way to start a campaign to go back for another title, to go win the race and everything and get the most points and do what's possible. That's what we did last year. We were really consistent. We didn't win a lot of races, but we were up there in the top 5, top 10 every single week and stayed out of trouble. And that's what it's going to take to win a title again. It doesn't matter how many races you win. As long as you keep that car clean and stay out of harm's way and run consistently, you're going to be a title threat. And I think a lot of these guys for sure know what that's like and know how to race like that. So you're going to see a lot of guys who have speed, know how to take care of themselves. I think we're going to see less cautions this year. Knock on wood. I hope I didn't jinx it. But it's going to come down to who races the cleanest, but also who averages out the best speed with cleanliness. So I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be a challenge for sure, but hell of a start though for it, for the 52 team.
Yeah, your internet that decided to cause one of those cautions here tonight as you were blinking out a few times, and certainly threw a big old wrench into some of the drivers out there. But it worked out. The internet cleaned up, and really, I mean, all the cautions out here tonight where you could contribute to, not necessarily, hard racing or anything too crazy out there. I mean, when Netco goes the first one, you're in issues there, bottleneck and everything, and really just one caution that maybe you can say was 2 drivers racing close together. So a fantastic start with this many drivers out there, a lot of them racing together for the first time. That's definitely what you want to see. But you get it done here tonight, start a new campaign, and see if you can go to number 1 again here in season 3. But before we let you go and head out to Texas next week, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, of course. Gotta give a big shout out to everyone who's watching my stream, my POV, and of course the broadcast. Shout out to Ancient World Racing, Kick Streaming for giving me a platform, Next Level Racing, all of our awesome partners that put this whole esports team together. They believe in me, I believe in them, and without them, I wouldn't be here having the confidence to go race every single week and win races and titles for them. Also, want to thank the field for not being too mad at me for the internet. That's so rare of myself, but we actually had a rain cell, pretty decent storm that came through there. So apologies to anybody's races that were affected by my netcode there. Yeah, hopefully that never happens again there with really bad timing. So apologies to the field. And yeah, shout out to everyone who supports me, this 52 team, and everyone who supports CORE Racing Series. I'm looking forward to an amazing season here, and hopefully we'll be hosting another title here at the end of the season.
Absolutely. Well, I'll say welcome back from my side. I can't say the drivers will be saying too much of the same thing as it only took you one win last time to get your championship. And
it didn't used to be like that, It didn't used to be like that. Whenever they saw me, they thought I was going to be the wreck. Now it's the other way around. It's funny how time changes so quickly.
We're both here tonight. You got the wreck and you got the win.
I don't want to be like that, though. I just want to go out and win the race. That's the thing. That's the trouble part.
All right, well, either way, you got the win here tonight. You start off the campaign the way you certainly want to, and we'll see what you can do out at Texas, see if you can go back-to-back or at least keep that title lead. But congrats here on the win. Go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
That is your winner here tonight, the 52 of Joey Stone. And, yeah, I mean, it only took him one win to get the championship last time he ran in the series, and he's already got that one. So that the rest of the field got to be thinking about that a little bit for sure, but we've got a lot of talented guys out here. It's certainly not going to be one person just running the gauntlet here. It's not going to be that easy. There's a lot of guys that have some really good iRating, and even the guys that don't have good iRating are very competitive, and I'm sure we'll see the top 10 changing around every race this season. But that is going to do it here for the first race of the season, of the season 3 of the CORE Xfinity Series. It was a really good race for these guys. Credit to the drivers out here. Again, only a few cautions, and a couple of those you can contribute to the netcode and internet issues. So great driving by all the drivers out here tonight. 34 guys, and 34 girls. Let me try that again. 33 guys, one girl out there, as Cheyenne Cada coming out here and grabbing a top 30 here. So congrats to her on her first race out here with all the other drivers out here. Great run. That is going to do it, though, for myself and Jimmy. Join us over there at the UCRL Xfinity Series as they are at Gateway, and that's where I'll be heading next. So thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe, but for now, we'll see you at the track.